In this video, we're talking about the 50 cal Desert Eagle chambered in 50 Action Express. The Desert Eagle 50 AE is without doubt the most iconic handgun in movie and video game history. And I mean, almost every single video game that's a first-person shooter that uses firearms modeled after real firearms has the mighty Desert Eagle as probably the big hand cannon. The Desert Eagle is popular, and it's cool. It's really cool. So the Magnum Research Desert Eagle is iconic. Even if you hate guns, you've probably heard of the Desert Eagle. That's mostly because of Hollywood and video game creators and how much they accentuate how badass of a gun that the Desert Eagle really is. Don't get me wrong. The Desert Eagle is cool. I think it's a really cool design, and it actually does have a purpose. Let's take a look at what the 50 AE, the 50 cal, looks like. So this is your common 9mm round. The next step up from there, we're gonna have a 45 ACP. Next up after that, we have a 357 Magnum. Is a 44 Magnum. This is a 5.56. That's what I feed my AR-15. And then last but not least, we have the 50 AE. So you can see the 50 AE is fatter than the 44 Magnum. It's taller than the 44 Magnum. It's taller than everything else except for the tiny little 5.56 up here, which is actually this little tip. That's a 223 bullet right there. Just in case you haven't heard, the Desert Eagle was never intended as a combat firearm. The Desert Eagle was actually meant as a hunting firearm. Let's talk real quick about how the Desert Eagle works. I'm gonna disassemble it for you. Pull this back, button in, drop it, barrel pops out. The Desert Eagle barrel is actually one piece assembly. You have your compensator, and as you can see, it's super easy to change the barrel. They make barrels with extensions, they make long barrels for it. You can do a whole lot with these. I kind of want like a gold-plated barrel. Let's take a look inside the recoil system of a Desert Eagle. Big bolt right here, and much like an AR-15, it has multiple claws for the extractor. And this is actually essentially mounted to the slide. Inside the slide, you have two recoil springs, and then you have a piston right here. So what happens is this piston goes inside that little hole on the bottom of the barrel. So this is how it works. Let me put this back together real quick. When you fire the Desert Eagle, the gas expands right here. Some of that goes down into the cylinder, pushes the piston, which is attached to the slide. Slide then recoils back. It has those two recoil springs. It cycles it. It takes the next round, chambers it when it releases, and then so on and so forth. That's how the semi-automatic recoil system works in the Desert Eagle. 50 AE versus a giant ice block. There we go. Now the reason I bring that up is that specific recoil system and the design of the Desert Eagle, all of that helps mitigate the felt recoil impulse when you fire this. So if you're to put that 50 AE round inside a revolver, it's gonna feel a whole lot different than it would inside a Desert Eagle. It was designed as a hunting firearm, something that has a really dampened recoil. You can essentially fire a huge round out of this, and it's a very comfortable recoil. Which brings up the big question, the entire concept of the video. Is the Desert Eagle practical? Now here's the deal. If you're a new firearm owner, no, I don't think it's practical. And that's because the Desert Eagle is a lot of things, but one thing it's not is it's not really beginner friendly. Rounds are expensive. So about $250 a round. That means practicing with it often is gonna be more expensive. So as a first-time gun owner, Desert Eagle, it's cool, it's really cool. But when you're paying $250, $3 a round, for a Desert Eagle just to practice becomes impractical. The size and weight of the gun, it's a big ass gun. So let me show you. This is my home-built Polymer 80 Glock, and then this is the Desert Eagle. I know they're kind of, let me sit back. That's the size difference between a Glock 19 size gun and then the Desert Eagle. There's a bit of a size difference. So it's heavy and it's expensive to shoot. Number 3 is, even though it has a really cool design in it, it doesn't hurt to shoot this. It still recoils. It's still a very heavy recoiling firearm. The difference is it's not that snappy recoil like you get on a revolver or something like that. It's more of like a rolling recoil. So it's a very cool, it moves. You know what? The last thing that I would not recommend this for is the sound, especially when it's compensated like this. It will deafen you. Desert Eagle 50 AE. I have a couple videos where I'm shooting with this and I'm filming with a cell phone. The problem is it's so loud that the cell phone does not pick up a realistic noise signature from this. It's extremely loud, it's deafening. So my little Axel GS Extreme earbuds, they work fine with a Desert Eagle, but that's right on the brink. I feel like if it's any louder, I can't use those. I need to go complete over the earmuffs with this thing. Home defense situation, no. So what that means is it's not practical for a new gun owner. It's not practical for a home defense firearm. It's not practical as a defensive firearm unless you're out in some kind of territory that requires the power of a 50 AE to take down something. Say you're out hunting and you're hunting big game, but you want to do a pistol hunt. This might be a good option. It's heavy, but so are the other large Magnum revolver. It has a rail on top, you can mount the scope, and you can essentially make this a primary type firearm, make this your primary hunting firearm. And I think it'll excel at that. This is extremely accurate for what it is, mainly because you have that fixed barrel and everything. So it's actually a really good option for hunting, which is what the intent of the design was. Or if you're like me and you're not really a hunter, but you're more of like, you just like big guns, blowing things up and destroying things. That's the only excuse I need. This gun is probably about $1,400 when it was brand new, and I actually bought it used for around $9 something. So I actually got a killer deal on this thing. You can't look at it on the same category as you would any other defensive firearm. I also have my CZ SP01 Shadow right here. I've got my little Colt officers and stuff. It's not the same category of firearm, and it's not intended to be a combat firearm. That's the Desert Eagle for you guys. And those are my takes on it. That's just a little simple lesson on how it's made and whether or not it's practical. So, hope you all like this video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys.